Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 1st of 2022, and as we get closer to the official release of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, a lot of Star Wars fans are really excited about TV shows out there, like the Ahsoka Tano show, the Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, and let's not forget about the unannounced Star Wars shows that will be unveiled at Star Wars Celebration this year in May. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, if you would like to go ahead and drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, here we are, it is the very first day of April. This is a very important month for Lucasfilm, as this is the month in which the Ahsoka Tano series begins filming in just 2 weeks from now. And we also have a lot of things happening with the Mandalorian Season 3 entering post-production, in case you guys did not know. Carl Weathers, confirmed just 2 days ago that they had officially wrapped filming for Mando Season 3. So that's all behind them now, and they are focusing on editing the overall series and adding in the effects, the music, everything around that So, that brings us to exactly what George, John, and Dave are up to for other Star Wars projects out there, and exactly how it's going to have a major impact on the sequel trilogy films. Now, this is something that a lot of fans have been wondering about for the longest time, with, of course, using the Ahsoka Tano series and exactly what's happening behind the scenes with that Star Wars TV show. We'll be jumping into that a little bit later. However, when it all involves George Lucas and Dave Filoni specifically, they have these key plans that have a lot to do with altering the sequel trilogy elements and aspects of the plot, and exactly how that's all going to be done in one of the big Star Wars projects, due, of course, for release next year. Now, with that being said, of course, we already know that Disney CEO Bob Chapek is the one allowing George, John, and Dave to do as they please in order to really succeed at the Star Wars universe. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm getting ready to begin developing other Star Wars shows, like Ahsoka and Mando Season 4, creators George Lucas and Jon Favreau have been hard at work on new techniques that will be applied to the Star Wars universe. Now, it's described, however, that George Lucas is said to work closely with Dave Filoni on the Ahsoka Tano series in an attempt to reset many aspects of the sequel trilogy films. Many plot points of the sequels are described to become altered and changed using a big moment in the Ahsoka series that will take advantage of the world between worlds in the Star Wars show that will focus on altering characters such as Luke Skywalker, Kylo Ren, Rey, and even others in the sequel trilogy films. One big change that is set to be applied using the world between worlds will have something to do with Luke Skywalker's fate in The Last Jedi that will be changed. However, it's unclear exactly what Lucas and Filoni are up to with handling Luke's fate change in The Last Jedi. Now, let me just stop right here for 1 second before we move on. Now, the changing of Luke Skywalker's fate, it is very mysterious as to exactly what they're going to do in the Ahsoka Tano series with all of that. Are they going to allow him to not die? I'm not quite sure if they're going to go that far. That's just my assumption. It sounds like that what they're trying to do is that they are trying to alter the way that he dies, perhaps. That's just another assumption as well. But this is a big part of the Ahsoka Tano series, is changing the fates of the key characters Luke, Rey, and Kylo Ren, and exactly how that's going to have a big impact on how we, the fans, perceive the sequel trilogy films. So this is going to begin filming in July. A lot of these sequences that will alter these characters' paths will be filmed by this July. So we got a little bit of a ways until they reach that point in time. April, May, and June is where a majority of the show is going to be filmed, and that's going to have a lot to do with the main plot point of the actual series. But I digress. Moving on from all of this, alright? Now, there will be a shift in what happens to Luke at this point in time in the sequels by using both deleted footage from Episode 8 and filling, of course, new footage to use as part of the scene for the fans to witness. Another sequence that will be created is also set to alter the destruction of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple, as seen in the flashback for The Last Jedi. The world between worlds is set to also be used as a tool to change and add in new ways of storytelling with this new realm for fans to understand. Now, this is best described to just name a few. Other big changes that will be applied also have something substantial to do with Rey's parents, and who they really are, and exactly how that too is going to shift suddenly in the Ahsoka Tano series. So, one thing I really want to point out here before we move on is that they are also going to be creating a big change that has to do with exactly who Rey's parents really are. Now, so far, Rey's parents in the official canon is that her father is Palpatine's son, which is basically just a clone of Palpatine using gene splicing techniques, and her mother is just some random person that met Palpatine's son. The thing about that is that it was always left to be very, I guess you could say, anonymous in a sense. You don't really know who they really are. We don't even know their names per se. We don't know Palpatine's son's name. We don't know Rey's mother's name. So they're really anonymous figures, and what they're going to be doing is that they're not only going to be providing their names, but they are going to be changing exactly who they really are, where they come from, and how substantial they are going to be in comparison to what was done in the sequels in the Ahsoka Tano series. So this could absolutely shed more light on exactly how significant Rey will become. Now, moving beyond all of this, so far Kathleen Kennedy is against these ideas by Dave Filoni and George Lucas with the help of Jon Favreau on the show. But Lucas realizes that they had already changed Ahsoka's fate, and they plan to change other fates as well in the new sequel trilogy, of course focusing on different paths for characters like Kylo Ren, Luke, and Rey, as well as others. This was a plan that was approved by Disney CEO Bob Chapek in an attempt to make the sequels more attractive to the fans, as many of the fans reject the Disney Star Wars movies. However, these major retcons that actually changes, of course, the sequel trilogy and how that will be placed in the Ahsoka series, is set to begin filming by this July, that will indeed require deleted footage from the sequel films, as well as techniques to film new scenes to work with those deleted ones, to create entire new scenes from the sequel trilogy movies. Now, Daisy Ridley, of course, as well as Adam Driver, have been approached to take part in a small role in making this all possible for the Ahsoka show, before it releases in 2023. This is most likely connected to Lucasfilm requiring new footage of these characters to work with that will allow them to make these changes realistically speaking. So here's the deal about this, alright? The Ahsoka Tano series is going to have a lot to do with the world between worlds, and that to me I think is going to be the most exciting element of the series, because it's going to be very force heavy. It's going to have a lot to do with the force, the cosmic force, the Wills, who are godlike beings. It's going to include force ghosts like Anakin Skywalker. I mean, we have a lot of things coming our way for the show. We really do. There's a lot of things being developed for the Ahsoka Tano series that I think a lot of fans are truly going to love and enjoy. And it's really going to be something that stands on its own. It's not going to be like The Mandalorian or The Book of Boba Fett or Kenobi. It really is going to be its own type of thing in the overall Star Wars universe. And that, I think, is the thing to look forward to, is the fact that it is going to be exactly what the fans have been asking for. So, if you guys actually like that Rebels episode, The World Between Worlds, go ahead, check it out another time, or if you have not seen it, go ahead and check it out to get your familiarity boosted with how the World Between Worlds works and how those realms actually work in space and time, and how Ahsoka Tano is saved and such. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But overall, guys, I think that Dave Filoni and George Lucas, as well as John, they have their head on straight, they know what they're doing, and they are moving in the right path here to really completing things with Star Wars. So, overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.